Oh man, welcome. And sorry we left you so abruptly and without warning, man. But man, the road to WrestleMania is officially everything it can be at this point. There's not too much that you don't know or don't expect, but there's still a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. So, man, let's get right to it. Let's talk. Let's get into the first Black Champ podcast. And I'm still the pick, the nasty black individual himself, because the comments are still going.
Yeah.
Camp from the port.
And now JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Barber's Chair Network is the home. Shouts out to the home team.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on everything at DFBC Pod. And shouts out to the producer of the theme. Shouts out to Raw, who was at the crib, actually.
Okay.
The other day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, totally forgot he was coming. Totally missed the text, that he sent. But of course, he was half asleep while he was over here. So I have to get video of that nigga sleep. But shouts out to that man there for sliding us this wonderful track for us to intro in. Go ahead and get started, man, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on within like the road to WrestleMania. We got AEW Revolution is going on, the Night Sting's last match, which we will get to our memories and things of the Stinger. But an unfortunate passing of a wrestling legend who I definitely had one of my funniest wrestler interactions with. Virgil passed away. Now, I saw online today that there's discrepancy about the age of Virgil.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I matter of fact, I saw it like probably about 30 minutes before we get started. Apparently, Virgil was not born in 1962.
Really? Okay.
Apparently, Virgil was born in 1951.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty big discrepancy.
Yeah.
And I get black don't crack, but like how do we make that level of error? I guess is the question I have off the rip.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tweet right now. It says that I just found out I got worked by Virgil. He told everyone his birthday was June 13th, 1962, but his real birthday was April 7th, 1951.
Wow. So Virgil was like a super OG out here then. I mean, he was already the OG.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta put a few more miles on him. And look at what black folks are able to do, man. You can take 11 years off your life, 10, 11 years off your life, and nobody know the difference because, hey, you're just that lit.
Yeah. The OSW review was the tweet that I saw it from, and saw a couple of other folks jump on and said that too. So it's like, wow, okay. All right. But no matter what the age is, Virgil Mike Jones is his real name. Also known as Virgil, of course. Soul Man Jones and Vincent and WCW passed away. Now, we're not about to step here and try to front and be like, Virgil gave us some 5-star matches.
Right, yeah, we can't cap like that.
We're also not going to act like as we got older, we didn't look at the Virgil character and go,
Yeah. Yeah, man.
However, think Virgil did give us some dope memories, even in his situation with the $1 Million Man. Actually, one of my favorites is when he turned on the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And the way all of that, transpired. I think it was one vignette where he was like grooming Buddy Toes and shit.
Yeah.
And he was looking like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. And And he eventually,
And if there's ever a time to be tired,
that's it.
it's that time.
But what are your thoughts on like Virgil Vincent? I wish that Hood was here, so he could give us the Soul Train Jones piece.
Yeah, for sure.
But what were your thoughts on just the Virgil Vincent character, um, in your eyes?
Yeah. So, again, man, this is not the show where we cap. So I'm not gonna act like I was the greatest and or biggest fan of Virgil. Um, I didn't understand the character, and it didn't. Obviously, like as we grow up, we learn about different just layers of what the character really means, or what we assume to believe what it means, because nobody from Team McMahon is gonna ever confirm or deny it to the most part. I'll say that I didn't know if he was a butler. I didn't know if he was a slave. I didn't know what Virgil was, but he always got beat up, and that didn't look cool to me. However, though, that's what 7 to 11-year-old Cam talking, right? Like, don't feel the character because he never whooped nobody. And I like the people in wrestling that whoop people, not the people that get whooped. But when you realize what the landscape of wrestling is, and you realize how significant that character was in getting over the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, then there's an air of reverence that comes. Like, wow, yeah, because I mean, hey, look, we've seen the rich white guy with all the money in the world that can buy anything character, but it don't quite get over like Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Even the $1 Million belt is second to Virgil as
Right.
far as what it took to get him over. So when I look at it now as a grown man, looking back in wrestling, understanding it a little bit more, what an amazing job by Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Because that is to do this in the 80s where, yeah, black folks got their rights, but black folks are still at the bottom. Black folks are still trying to come up. And then you play this character that doesn't even speak. It's just like literally your actions, your reactions, your adjustments. That is what it is. It's way before Damian Sandow didn't say a word. Virgil was the guy that was never saying a word, but he was such an intricate part of not only matches, but the getting over of the character that was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And obviously, it does mature into that. But I'm going to say that looking back, it's literally respect. Just like I had to walk back a lot of things that I said about R-Truth when you really get into it, and walking back the Junkyard Dog because of the time we lived in. I gotta just show more respect and more praise for the brilliant work that Virgil did, even if I didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah, it took me to even realize a little bit that we ain't even really hear him speak for a while. Like, he was just a presence. And I'll say that I don't think that the $1 Million Man character don't get over as much as it did without Virgil.
Yeah, I
If
definitely
any,
agree.
and rather unfortunate considering as you get older, the stereotypes and all of that, right? But there's no $1 Million Man without Virgil. Now, no matter what, the report alleged way of naming Virgil happened, with Dusty Rhodes and Vince McMahon looking at Dusty over there and saying, yo, we gonna shit on you by naming this black dude Virgil. He basically being a hand to the $1 Million Man.
Right.
No matter how you put it, that character don't get over without Virgil.
Yeah. Facts.
He's just another rich man, white man, who feels like he's better than everybody, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because maybe this is me talking, but I've been on my, now we in the road to WrestleMania. I do this every year since we've had the network. I watch every WrestleMania until we get to 40. Or until we get that one. The $1 Million Man character to me goes down when Virgil leaves him.
Absolutely.
Am I the only one that thinks that believes that?
No, because look, they threw him with Erwin R. Shyster afterwards. That's how far down it went. And those are the things, like, again, you don't realize it at the time. But you're like, damn, there aren't too many singles matches after the Virgil feud is over. After the Virgil versus Ted DiBiase story is over, he goes into tag team wrestling, and then he just leaves. Like, that's it.
Because it was like he lost Virgil, but he got Sensational Sherry.
Yeah.
That didn't really hit to me.
No.
Then he gets Erwin R. Shyster, and they have Money Incorporated with Jimmy Hart as their manager. They wrestle the Natural Disasters. They have that feud. They end up having the feud with Hogan after, another thing that I noticed too. And maybe I just was not paying attention. But I was watching WrestleMania 9 the other day. I didn't realize that The Undertaker and Brutus the Barber Beefcake had the same mask. They just had.
Yeah. The Don't Bust My Face mask.
Whoa. Yeah, I didn't notice they had the same mask. It was just like, when The Undertaker got it, they made like purple and black and white.
Yeah,
but it was Hulkamania
like
colors.
Evil Phantom of the Opera, where like
I was
Beefcake looked like, oh my god, it's holding his face together.
Yeah, I was watching WrestleMania 9 and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, that is the same mask.
Yeah.
Oh wow, y'all got me there. Okay, boom, boom, boom. But the $1 Million Man character didn't really hit to me after like watching these WrestleManias and going digging in the crates as we get to WrestleMania 40. It just didn't hit to me without Virgil.
Yeah. And speaking to the Sensational Sherry point, because I obviously we know that exists, but she did her best work as I say a valet, a manager, or whatever, around Ted DiBiase. Macho King and Queen Sherry, Harlem Heat, and Sister Sherry. Everything $1 Million Man don't gotta happen, and she still has 2 impeccable runs around that. And so it ain't her. Like, so it's not her. I just want to be crystal clear on that. Sensational Sherry was a G for all of that. And I was like, wow, she got over 2 black dudes and got them to the tag titles, but yet she couldn't do anything for this $1 Million Man character.
And maybe it was the setup, because after he loses Virgil, he buys Hercules, and now he wants to now he wants a slave. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to hear what we just said. Just look at the timeline, y'all.
Right.
Virgil says, "Fuck this, I'm out." He starts wearing the kind of similar Apollo Creed trunks. He starts boxing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The $1 Million Man says, I need somebody else. So now he buys Hercules from Bobby the Brain Heenan and says, he's my slave.
Right. Which, listen, in that time, wait, we gotta let that breathe. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So and the thing is, I think that takes the character to a new height if Hercules is just a shade or 2 darker. Because I don't know he's Latin. I don't know he's like Hispanic. I don't know that. I'm thinking Hercules is just a swole white dude.
Was Hercules Hernandez really Mexican?
I mean,
I know his name was Hercules Hernandez.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Raymond Fernandez.
Yeah. So it's like, so he's either way, he's supposed to be. Like, we know the kind of games Vince played in the 80s and 90s. You don't really got to be from the country to be the ethnicity that you are billed as or booked as. But at the same time, I'm like, so, like, he just gonna buy a former Intercontinental Champion? He gonna buy a former, like, I was like, how does this work? Like, he bought a person, but at least the person wasn't black. But at the same time, it ain't work like it did when he had somebody that was black. So it's wild.
Because the Mexican one was like, hold on.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Now,
Bobby, I don't know what you think this is.
right.
You just selling me?
Yeah. I mean, and
And
wildly enough,
it led to a feud.
yeah. And wildly enough, it probably would have worked if he looked more like Tito Santana. But that's just the world we live in, man. I don't I mean, it wasn't right. It wasn't right at all. But that was the link that they went to get the heat that Virgil was able to acquire being attached to the $1 Million Man character.
Yeah, it's wild out here, man. It was wild times out there in the 80s and early 90s. I wish I could have got to see more of the Soul Train Jones character and what that was supposed to look like. I think Jonathan Hood could give us the 1-2 on that. But then you got the Vincent thing. That it was easy to bring a lot of those former WWE wrestlers into the NWO fold. And naming him Vincent to diss Vince McMahon, like Virgil naming him, Virgil definitely had one of those careers to where you was just like, as you're older, you look at racial tropes in wrestling and everything. You can see why some black wrestlers could look at the Virgil character and be like, nah, I ain't trying to do that, son.
Yeah.
We ain't on that. But whether we agree on how the character look or not, there's no $1 Million Man, which is one of the greatest characters in the 80s and early 90s in the WWE. There's no $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, without Virgil.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, there's no real Macho Man title run. There's no Hulk Hogan foil for WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania 3, really. And it's really a missing piece within the WWF. So, while we're not about to sit up here and say that Bret Hart versus Virgil, when they did the handshake,
yeah,
it is a 5-star match and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually believe that he's the first person to lose to Yokozuna. He's at least the first person I remember seeing Yokozuna wrestle. And when Yokozuna put him down the way that he got put down, I was like, okay, Yokozuna, that deal, fam. He just whooped the shit out of Virgil. And even that feud between him and the $1 Million Man with Roddy Piper wearing the black and guess they used marker and that didn't come off the way that they wanted to come off. But we definitely wanted to. Right.
Wild.
We definitely wanted to show some love to Virgil before we really get knee deep in the podcast, and actually also show love to another wrestler. I know we're recording right now, live recording, so we're kind of up against AEW Revolution.
Right.
So shouts out to all of you all that are watching Revolution. Along with watching us, so that should be boom, boom, boom. And I am not able to watch Revolution, today, but I'm gonna watch it in a couple of days. There's a lot of stuff going on. Either way it go, it is the last match of the man they call Sting. Steve Gordon, aka Sting, will retire tonight after his match with the EVPs. Him and Darby Allin, who are. I think they're still the tag team champions, and this is a tag team championship match, tornado tag match. But Sting, let me kick this off.
Mm-hmm.
Sting is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
As somebody who loved WCW for a lot more than I loved WWF
Hmm.
slash E, Sting was my franchise.
Okay.
In fact, I've said on this show on many occasions that the OG Sting thing, is one of my favorite theme songs of all time.
Yeah.
And
It's up there.
it's top five and it ain't five. I love that theme. I love Sting. I hated when I was watching wrestling when I was younger. The Four Horsemen will always fuck Sting up. I still remember watching the first Clash of the Champions and seeing, Ric Flair give Sting the rub. Um, Even I watched Sting during his TNA days, and Sting is probably one of the few people in the beginning, like, of AEW. Sting is probably one of the few people that actually got me interested in watching AEW because I like Sting. Um, but Sting is definitely, I think, to me, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, mainly because he made the jump to WWE later in life.
Hmm.
But I challenge anybody to not watch WCW Sting, NWA Sting, and not get charged up. Like that man right there was the linchpin of a lot of what I loved about wrestling, to the point where my favorite Sting moment might not be what people would think when I'm saying that I love Sting so much.
Okay.
My favorite Sting moment is when Vader squashed him.
Oh yeah.
But the reason why is because that made me afraid of Vader and
Mm.
scared for Sting.
The
And
cell. Cell.
the sale, the sale and putting somebody over in such a way. And I think that Sting, what made Sting great is that if the business called for it to happen the way it needs to happen, Sting upheld the business in that way. Later on in WCW, he had to deal with a lot of bullshit in the company that he helped build. A lot of the Hogan bull, a lot of the Eric Bischoff bull, and all of that. And even going into TNA, he was in a match with Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy was out his mind. But I think it takes somebody with the character, the respect that Sting has for people in the business in order for those things to get the sensitivity and give Sting the respect that he deserves. Like Sting is one of those people that I don't think even after tonight will be appreciated like he should be, because a lot of people are not going in the WCW part of Peacock. No, they're not going into, all of the WCW matches to look at Sting, but they should, because Sting, even before he tore up his knee and he had to slim down a little bit, he was as big as the Ultimate Warrior. I still remember finding out that they was tag team partners and been like my mind was blown. Like, when the fuck did this shit happen? He tears up his knee, gets a little bit smaller. Those stinger splashes start to come. Scorpion Death Lock, Scorpion Death Drop. I really rock with Sting, and I respect that man that even at 64 years old was taking bumps that I was like, nah, I ain't doing if I get that age. But like, tell me about like your thoughts on Sting, and which is your favorite Sting? Sting has multiple versions of himself. What was your
Yeah.
favorite?
Well, my favorite thing off top is the blonde hair face paint Sting. Blonde fade. 'Cause I used to get him and Brian Bosworth confused, believe it or not. That's kind of how my life works. But no, I like that because me not knowing that him and the Ultimate Warrior were a tag team at the time, I was like, he's kind of like the Ultimate Warrior, but he's like calmer, or it's like, or it's like going in spurts. As far as like the energy is concerned. Wow, pause if necessary. But but I'll say that I like that Sting because that Sting was like superhero Sting. That's the Sting that had the feud with Nikita Koloff. So that's like one of the main favorite slash WCW feuds I was there for from start to finish. Like I had to get acquainted and get caught up to speed on like Flair versus Steamboat, or I had to get up to speed on all the Four Horsemen changes after the original Four Horsemen and why, and like so the main people that I caught as far as storylines, they were the Steiners, Flying Brian, and Sting. Like,
Yep.
Those were the guys, and I was like, oh wow, like okay, this, and I was like, this ain't WWF, but I like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like it don't look like as expensive, with the cameras and all that and everything, but people really getting beat up here. Like these injuries look real. Like, it look like people getting their ass whooped out here to this. So, I do agree with you. And for y'all that may have been listening since day one, or maybe just in the last 3 or 4 years, I want to say when AEW was just getting started and Sting was coming back, I was very harsh and very critical of Sting. And I stand by all of that because I still do think that he was unfortunately loyal to a fault, and that shortened the impactful run.
And I have something. I have a comparison on that when you get done.
So, but I will say this because of that, because I was like, man, you know what? Because I always felt that if Bret Hart and Sting were in the same organization at the same time, no way Bret Hart was going to be bigger than Sting. That's how I felt. So for me to see him, take the time off, and then it's the TNA run, which I really didn't see most of it. I seen maybe half of it, just keeping it real. And I do got to catch up myself. And then to see him come back, it was like, damn, I was like, this is disappointing to me because my expectation personally for Sting was even higher than what he has. And so he deserves all the praise, all the accolades, all the reverence. But I just wish it was more in his prime and in his youth. But, from the intro music alone, I did love Crow Sting, even though he barely wrestled, he didn't talk. And but everything he did was impactful. But the music was so fire, I was like, yo, I kind of just want them to do a movie with.
Now, Sting said that character was not based on the Crow. It was more based on it was more based on Batman, stuff like that. He wasn't even aware of the Crow.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was even interesting. But you know who I compare Sting to?
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett. Sting is the Kevin Garnett of wrestling.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is because you hit on something, you said loyal to a fault. This might sound like a hot take to some people. To me, it's not a hot take because I've always thought this. I think Sting could have been the biggest wrestler of all time if he got to the WWE.
For sure.
I think we don't get Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart if Sting bounces over to the WWF in the early 90s. But Sting stayed loyal to WCW. Kevin Garnett probably would be higher on the power forward totem pole if he goes to another team. But he stayed with Minnesota all of those years.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Boston and finally wins him a championship. Goes to Brooklyn and then goes back to Minnesota.
Right.
That's who I equate Sting in his career to. Kevin
Mm,
Garnett stayed loyal to a fault. Sting, after the sale of WCW to the WWF, decides I'm gonna chill out. He goes to TNA, and while they're not at the same heights as WCW, he has what I would consider an historic TNA run.
mm,
He became the franchise in two places, in my opinion.
okay.
He's I mean AJ Styles is TNA,
Yeah.
but Sting held that place down to make it a very noticeable and notable spot,
Mm,
so to speak. When I hear TNA, I think AJ Styles, Samoa Joe,
mhm,
Kurt Angle,
mhm.
and Sting.
Per- mhm.
Perk Angle, if you want to say, And like I said, AW, he really took like a Darby Allen who really, I'm not gonna lie, it's like, who the fuck is this weirdo?
Right.
And he made that weirdo interesting to me.
For sure. For
And
sure.
and that's what I think KG tried to do when he went back to Minnesota,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, with Carl Anthony Towns and them.
yeah.
But to go back to the WWE piece, yeah, Sting to me could quite possibly been the biggest wrestler in the world. Like how Stone Cold eventually became
Yeah.
when he went to the WWE, got through the ring, bring master character, excuse me, and all of that. What the WWE tried to do with the Ultimate Warrior,
Hmm.
with that transition,
Yeah.
imagine Sting in the Ultimate Warrior spot.
Exactly what I was going to say. Hey, listen.
Imagine WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Edge in the crowd.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was Sting
Yeah.
versus Hogan, with Hogan as the heel instead of the Ultimate Warrior. I think Sting would have been the biggest wrestler in the world then. And if he would have stayed and did what he could have done, Sting would have been the biggest wrestler in the world.
I'll take it a step further because I 1000% agree with you. Because I believe it's that one really bad doctor they try to make us forget, but I got it on DVD about the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, and we
When
watched it. We
yeah,
watched it together in Atlanta and was like,
yeah. It's like, oh
they
man,
hate this nigga?
right, right. I was like, I didn't think we were going here. I didn't think that was going to happen. But because at that time, hey, look, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, two of the biggest stars in the world of professional wrestling at WrestleMania 6. You put Sting in that Ultimate Warrior spot. Sting goes over on Hogan. Everything that Hogan said in that Warrior doc would have been super cap because it ain't going to be more people were watching me leave the ring when they were watching him celebrate. That wouldn't have happened if Sting was out there in that spot. And I agree. You get Sting in WWF at the time, I don't think Vince McMahon is in a rush to break up the Hart Foundation and send Brett solo. I don't think he breaks up the Rockers. And even if he does, because we obviously, if you've seen the Marty Jannetty Dark Side of the Ring, it was kind of going to happen regardless. But even with that, Shawn Michaels versus Sting, and then the winner of that ends up with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because we never really got Steve Austin versus Sting in WCW. Not stunning. We never got Stunning Steve versus the Stinger. But, man, does Vince McMahon have a freaking field day with that in 97, 98. He probably doesn't call Mike Tyson. He probably doesn't call Mike Tyson for that. So no, I definitely agree because Sting, for all things considered, obviously, Ric Flair will always be regarded as probably the greatest wrestler to come in and out of WCW. But hands down, the biggest star without even trying was always Sting. It's never been a person with the amount of star power that he had that was homegrown, because I know y'all gonna say Hulk Hogan. But Hogan was already Hulk Hogan when he got into his WCW run. Now, salute to him for the rebrand and the revamp and the new push. But Sting changed himself 3 times in that company and got over each and every time.
Each and every time.
and it didn't waver. Like, even though I didn't know how to receive the look of with brown hair and the white face paint, but I was like, that's Sting, though. Like, I'm not gonna boo Sting. Like, you crazy? Like, you crazy? Like, I'm not gonna front on Sting. It's Sting. It's still Sting.
Like, even Sting Wolfpack. Mind you, I ain't like Sting with the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I was just like, nah, man. Sting with the Wolfpack feels forced, even though he probably having fun.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels forced because it just seems like too many white dudes trying to get black swag. You know, I'm with all that, but still, it just seems like it just seems like too many. Ain't no brothers in the Wolfpack. Do you realize that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I was the only person that realized that.
No.
But there was no black people in the Wolfpack.
None.
Kevin Nash got to tell us what happened.
Kevin Nash wanted to be the blackest person in the Wolfpack. That's what it was. Like, hey, yo, I'm 7 foot from Detroit. I've definitely been with some black women. Look, nobody's blacker than me.
I kicked it with white boy Rick. Right. I kicked it with white boy Rick.
Right.
I knew BMF before y'all knew BMF. We out here, G. Wolfpack.
Right.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I'll let Conan slide because he ain't really from America. But that's it.
Hey, wait a minute. I just thought about that. Like, what if Kevin Nash do have some amazing BMF stories?
Hey, I wouldn't doubt it, man. Because, I mean, hey, look. Because he was part of the nightlife scene before he got into wrestling. Nothing would surprise me that Kevin Nash stories between Detroit and Flint, Michigan, nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, we gotta
he work the nightlife scene as well.
Kevin Nash got to tell us some cool white boy Rick and BMF stories. Let us know it's real. But yeah, I think you're right, man. Kevin Nash was the blackest person in the Wolfpack.
For sure.
And Sting just didn't fit with that.
Yeah. And plus Sting
and Lex Luger.
Yeah. But Sting spent 3 months beating all of them up.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want him to join.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sting also had the worst best friends. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. Part of Sting's legacy is that he was just everybody's big homie, and they let him down in one way, shape, or form. All right. First of all, Lex Luger's the number one on that. Lex Luger let Sting down on so many occasions. Lex Luger is the reason why Sting lost the United States Championship to Rick Rude, because he thought that was his ace, but his ace clipped him, messed up his knee. He got to go in the meat wagon, drive there. That's the first time. First of all, that's the first time I've ever seen he's going to the hospital. Oh no, he's on his way back. WCW used to use the shit out of that joint. Like, you know, WWF got that. That's some shit they stole from WCW. Like, Sting got his ass clipped. They took his ass in the as Bobby the Brain Heenan would say, the meat wagon. He was holding that damn knee. And they was like, yo, Rick Rude is about to win this title. Let's do the countdown. Next thing you know, here goes Tony Schiavone. Oh my God! Here comes Sting! Tony Schiavone got to say that tonight. Like, the matter of fact, the match at AEW got to go like this. The EVP's got to whoop Sting's ass, and Sting's not going to make it to his final match. They take him to the hospital, and then here comes Tony Schiavone. Oh my God! Here comes Sting! And
oh man!
Oh my God! Here comes Sting! Like, they got Jim Ross doing the match tonight for Sting. But here's the thing, y'all. See, this is why Jim Ross don't need to be a part of everything. Because I don't remember a great Jim Ross call with Sting in his prime. No, that's Tony Schiavone. If I'm Sting, it should be Tony Schiavone and whoever.
Yeah. Really, whoever. Because we know the pick is really Bobby, but rest in peace, Bobby.
Right, but I need Tony Schiavone be like, oh my God, here comes Sting. I need that. I need that because when I think of an announcer connected to a wrestler, how like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, even The Rock, that's Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Tony
Sure.
Schiavone is Sting.
Yeah.
That's his
That's his guy.
that's his
His Howard
guy.
Cosell, as you can say.
There you go. That's his Howard Cosell. I need Tony Schiavone on the call. I don't need Jim Ross. I need Tony Schiavone on the call tonight. And if Tony Schiavone is not on the call, if he's not the play-by-play man, AW, y'all fuck this up for me. Because when I see Sting, I hear Tony Schiavone. And I need Tony Schiavone to just be like, oh my God, Stinger Splash, Scorpion Deathlock, he gets up. Oh my God. I also need Tony Schiavone to say, Hulk Hogan, you go to hell. I need this.
That is the number one line of wrestling of what, 96? That's the number one.
Hulk Hogan, you go to hell.
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
You go to hell.
I don't know if he really didn't know until it was in real time, or
that's that from what they say.
Right.
That's when they found out he was the third man.
Because man, listen, that was Michael Douglas level of sell from Tony Schiavone and Bash at the Beach in 1996. I was like, yo, like he felt that. He was like, yo, man, Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
Hulk Hogan, you go to hell. And but who did he go over on? Sting.
Yeah.
Like Lex Luger fucked over Sting. Mm-hmm. Brian Pillman fucked over Sting. Scott Steiner fucked over Sting. Ric Flair on many occasions fucked over Sting.
Sure.
Like, do y'all not realize that Sting was once a member of the Four Horsemen? And then Ole Kane was like, nah, cut this shit out.
I heard he likes black people. No, just play.
Cut this shit out, bro. You don't belong here. You're out the Horsemen. Get out of our ring. Sting ass looking like, yo, what the fuck going on, Phil? Like, with the bolo tie, with the bolo tie. He's like, no, you get out. Ole was like, no. Right. You get out of the ring. You're not a Four Horseman. You never was. You never will be. Get out the ring. He looked at Rick. Like, damn, Rick, how you just turned on Sting like this? I thought we was cool.
Right.
That was never meant for all of that. But again, that's why Sting, man, that's why Crow Sting really made what it was supposed to be. Because when you look back, man, ain't nobody really have Sting's back, fam. Sting was trying to be everybody's friend. Dudes with attitudes and shit. You know what I'm saying? His best friend got him beat up out here by Ravisherick Rude and shit with one leg. And that thing. What was the dudes with attitudes then? Sting tried to save, Lex Luger from getting Russian sickled with a chain at Super Brawl. He ended up getting busted open.
A lot of Sting's feuds, well, not a lot of them, some of the best feuds came from Sting trying to look out for Lex Luger. Like, he was like, hey, yo, I'm trying to save you from getting your head knocked off. I'm trying to save you from getting fired. I'm trying to save you like, hey, look, I'm trying to save you from hanging around with the wrong people. Every time. But it's a story. It's like, man, Sting really the OG. And Lex Luger was just like, yo, the musclehead that just don't want to listen to the OG.
Hey, Lex Luger, let it be known, man, Lex Luger is not your friend. Sting, you know now, Lex Luger was never your friend. Lex Luger was just riding your coattails to get what you couldn't get. Because anytime you helped out Lex Luger, your ass got injured.
That's a fact. It happened. We watched it. We
saw Lex Luger. That if you see Lex Luger tonight, you make sure that they lock that wheelchair down. Make sure you lock that wheelchair down. Because Lex Luger gonna roll his ass out there and cost you the match. Like he's always done.
Man. Like, oh, he tripped on the spoke.
Hey, man, shouts out to Sting, though.
Word.
Definitely respect and rock with Sting, man.
Yeah, man.
And we wish him well.
Yes,
Now,
congratulations, Sting. Thank you.
right. Now, we have not done this in a while. I don't even have the joint queued up here because we're on a different StreamYard. But we're going to make a new intro for one of our favorite shows within First Black Champ as the bloodline turns, ladies and gentlemen. Because now we're full steam ahead to the road to WrestleMania. The Rock out here, we both was unanimous in not really feeling his first promo. But Rock made it a case to be like, nah, G, I'm going to upload 15 minutes. And then he was like, nah, I need 6 extra minutes. And then he ended up getting 6 extra minutes, turned it into 21 minutes of expletives. What was your thoughts on The Rock's social media promo aimed towards Cody Rhodes,
Man.
the Cody Crybabies, and the wrestler that don't even matter in his life? Wrestler he don't even know who he is and why he's here. Why he's even involved in our shit. Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh, man. First, man, I want to salute The Rock for just going full-blown tourist. Like that's the first thing I want. That's the first thing I want to salute. The Rock's birthday is what, May 4th?
I think so.
And he acted, or it's May 2nd or May 4th, but he acted every bit of May Taurus in that moment. And it was funny. It was, listen, for everything that I've said on this show about The Rock being maybe not in my 5 or 10 wrestlers of all time and probably will never make it, I can't deny, man, when he wants to entertain, like when he just wants to capture the entertainment piece of sports entertainment, it's hard to drop him out anywhere near 4. Like when we're talking about just entertaining. And what's so funny about all of this is he told the story that felt so believable to me that I wanted to tweet Cody and question him. I wanted to question Cody after I saw that promo because everything The Rock said made so much damn sense that now the standoff thing where The Rock slapped shit out of him, it really made me think that, Cody just decided he was gonna come out there and shoot. Like now, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bang. I really think that it was set. Rock versus Roman in Philly, WrestleMania 40, fuck what the fans think. But this also now harkens back to one, our guarantees before the Royal Rumble and CM Punk. Now more than ever, I'm going to say this, now more than ever, I really don't think Cody was supposed to win that Royal Rumble. Now I really don't believe it now. I think CM Punk was supposed to win. They made the call because he knew he was hurt then in the middle of the end of that. During the last like 5 minutes or so of that Royal Rumble, I think CM Punk was like, no, I'm jagged like this bad. And it's only me and you in here. And we were like, Cody does not need to win the Royal Rumble to get this match. And they kept proving it week after week. So with The Rock's promo, I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Either he working me and this is good, like he fooling a grown-ass man in this house right now, or this is what really happened, and this is just more compelling. But I'll tell you this: I don't think we are valuing what The Rock did correctly, because there's no way on God's green and blue earth that I am going to sit and let any other wrestler do that on X or Twitter for 20 minutes. I'm not staying around that long. I'm not staying around that long for it. I love the shots at Seth Rollins, even though Seth Rollins is my guy. He said, read between the lines. I just blurred it. Like, I will take that title off of you when I feel like it. I'm like, oh, Jay gonna win on Raw tonight. Like, oh, Jay got a match for the world title tonight. And it's gonna be bloodline business. Like, hey, listen, man. The Rock is truly one of the greatest at just the sell of the moment, the sell of a match that ain't even happening. Because Seth, hey, look, again, the more he keep talking, the more I want to see Cody versus Rock or Cody versus Seth. I still don't want to see Roman Reigns yet. That's the messed up part about all of this, is that The Rock has talked his way into 2 main events, if you ask me, and he's talked his own cousin out of the whole weekend. So that ain't good, but I like what I see.
I damn near have the same sentiments as you. I damn near do.
Okay.
And the reason why I damn near do is because The Rock on SmackDown had damn near a 40-minute promo.
Right. It's a 2-hour show.
It's a 2-hour show, fam. That promo ended at like 10:41. Like 10:41. I was looking at the clock like, damn. I didn't even realize how long it was until I was like, damn. Damn, this segment was how long? A whole damn show.
Man.
We only getting 3 matches tonight? Like, that's all it was. Like, what the hell going on here? See, I will say this. I love the storytelling of it all, because I loved seeing Roman frustrated. I love seeing him frustrated and being like, nah, I'll leave. I ain't feeling this shit. Something wrong here.
Right.
And then when The Rock was about to get his "if you smell" shit on, Roman was like, no.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Not today.
Which proves that beginning of that promo was more him struggling with the fact that he about to tell Big Cuz to acknowledge me inside this ring. And didn't expect Cuzzo to be like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. However, tweeted this out, y'all. My guarantee.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, COINTEL Pro Rock is back. I'm speaking for me. I won't speak for my co-host here. Champ for the Port. I'm speaking for me. I told y'all about COINTEL Pro Rock, how he got into the Nation of Domination and disrupted it. You can call him COINTEL, you can call him the spook that sat by the door. Either way it go, no matter if it's one or the other, that shit is headed to the bloodline, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
My guarantee is that night one, The Rock and Roman Reigns is going to beat Cody and Seth. They're going to win. And they're going to make it bloodline rules. So we're going to look, it's going to bring the drama even more to the match to say, man, I don't think Cody got a shot here. I also believe that Seth Rollins and others will get involved in this match.
Yeah.
I also believe that at the end of the match, Solo is not going to save Roman. The Rock is going to look at Solo and Jimmy and say, nah, 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 nah. He's going to hit him with the Malcolm X. Matter of fact, he's going to do. Because I don't know if y'all noticed again on SmackDown, he did that shit again. He did that shit again, y'all. He really out here think he drinking the juice like Jack Burton. But my guarantee after watching SmackDown on Friday, Cointel Pro Rock or Spook that sat by the door rock, no matter if it's on the right or the left, he is going to be taking over as the leader. Because how can the tribal chief ask the high chief to acknowledge him? They didn't even put tribal chief on the bloodline family tree PDF, but they put the high chief on there.
It's a fact.
The Rock is going to say that he's the high chief. And in Cleveland, Ohio, at SummerSlam, August 3rd, The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the head of the table match happens.
Hey, I do like that because, one, I want to say we said this maybe 2 weeks ago. Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, it was supposed to happen. I was like, but wait, what are we building here? Because this feels like either like when Raw was super special, it would be with the main event of that, or it would be the main event of like Elimination Chamber or like Fastlane or, you know what I'm saying, Valentine's Day Massacre, whatever it would be, something on the way to WrestleMania. And now it's basically part of WrestleMania. And again, because I think that The Rock is talking himself into every possible scenario, no matter what Roman Reigns does. And with that, it makes it more compelling. But you know, we got to get this title out the picture if we're going to talk about The Rock. We just got to get the title out the picture. I am not in the mindset that the biggest or the best matches have to happen at WrestleMania. Hell, y'all recall, and I ain't gonna lie, because of everything that's happening, I'm still gonna stick to it. Cody is not finishing this story at WrestleMania. It's not happening. I don't know how it ain't happening, but it's not happening. But I do love the idea of Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam because, hey, they put in SummerSlam at stadiums. We know because we was at one. So there's that. I want to keep watching because, again, there's a whole lot of talking as you alluded to. It's like, yo, the 1 quarter of the show was dedicated to The Rock running his mouth with his family and Paul Heyman in the ring. So that's why I'm kind of confused. Like, I'm with you on the Cointel Pro Rock. I'm absolutely with you. But part of me thinks that Solo is going to be the one that really jumps ship with The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but wait a minute. So you think Solo is going to go with Rock, Jimmy is going to stick with Roman, Civil War shit again?
Absolutely, because that's my low key guarantee for the week. My low key guarantee because of this. Remember, Jimmy and Jay and Roman they've always been packages being joined at the hip as we tell this story, right? You feel me? You see what I'm going? So they've always been joined at the hip. Solo was like just the younger brother that ain't the twin that really wasn't with them. And even in the pictures with him, he looked like he in like second grade. It's like, they own already. The Rock is the only one out of them that got a black daddy. So he probably feel like Solo. He's like, all these Samoans. Like, I mean, they love me. It was all love always. But my pops was that nigga. Like, even though we ain't had the greatest relationship, and I've really toted the line of how special my dad was, even in promo for wrestling. I identify with this little Solo kid right here. And I would love for the aspect of Solo to be like, you made up this tribal chief shit. Like, you made that up. Like, it's always been high chiefs. Like, his grandfather, the high chief. Your daddy was probably considered the high chief. He was never really the tribal chief. That's manufactured. You brought this to the table. So I'm going to really go with the dude that's at the table, like the real table. And I can see, because the thing is, we still haven't finished the story, because everybody got a story. There's still the story of Solo wanting to be the man and feeling the way about them saying Jay was next. He's like, wait, what? I helped the last 3 title fights. What you mean? What you mean, Jay? It's like, nah. Like, y'all got him around. He bringing in these weird-looking white boys. Everything going crazy. I solved all these problems. It's not on me. That's why he ain't talking to nobody. He ain't moving or talking to nobody if we've been paying attention for the last 4 or 5 months. So I think Solo is going to defect to The Rock because he trying to get up the real tree, up the real dynasty, up the real table, and it don't really come with being the tribal chief. That's my low-key guarantee of the week.
So, here's why I don't mind your guarantee. Because more than likely, we're going to get Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania night 1.
Yep, that's got to open night 1.
So, if we get that, there's more of a chance that Jay will take out Jimmy. So it won't be Jimmy. Jimmy probably won't even be needed for WrestleMania night 2, which will put Solo in the spot.
Yep.
Do I protect the tribal chief? Or do I protect the high chief?
Yeah.
Think he's going to protect the high chief, and his facial expressions on SmackDown tells the story. I need to be with the bigger guy than I need to be over there. He been taking me for granted. This is the high chief.
Yeah. Hey.
They told me to come to y'all. Matter of fact, I got something for you, Camp, to add on to it.
There we go. Let's talk.
Remember, Solo said they sent me. How do we know that The Rock ain't they?
There we go. There we go. And now let's elaborate on even that. When Roman is not on SmackDown or Raw or at the PLEs, we assume that he's chilling, he resting, or maybe just really doing some real life stuff. When the high chief, The Rock, ain't at SmackDown or Raw or at the PLE, he in the boardroom. He on the movie set. He with Kevin Hart. He with Oprah Winfrey. He doing something that's generating money to bring back to the Samoan dynasty. And it ain't just wrestling. Like, we know it for a fact. Hey, he told us on Twitter. While putting Seth Rollins in his place. Hey, Feb, what you mean you don't know why I'm here? Like, bro, you think the Netflix deal get done without me? It's like, yo, just even that. Hey, look at the lines. I just blurred it. Maybe it ain't Jay. Maybe he sent Solo to Raw. And it's like, yo, take that belt off this bitch ass dude. Maybe that's the play. So you mean to tell me Solo ain't gonna jump ship? Be like, hey, oh, wait, whoa, hold up. Oh, you can do that? Oh, it's up. So yeah, hell yeah. I got Solo jumping ship with The Rock immediately.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as I say on meetings and to everybody, it's more than one way to skin a cat. As long as that bad boy naked at the end of the night.
That's definitely what I told her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might not have come to an agreement about will the story end at WrestleMania. But what we have come to the agreement is Solo is going with the High Chief and not the Tribal Chief. All right, let's move on to the Cody and Seth thing. Now, first of all, The Rock did challenge Seth and Cody to a match. A match between The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth will happen night one at WrestleMania. If Cody and Seth win, no bloodline interference whatsoever. Now, a lot of people have speculated that with the incoming Tama Tonga, which is Haku's son, maybe he could get a spot there. Maybe some other cousins end up jumping or whatever if the story is not finished. Or maybe it is a all-around clean match. But also, if The Rock and Roman win, then it's bloodline rules. You can have Solo singing the national anthem. You can have the wise man as the referee or The Rock as it's bloodline rules. So that means anything goes. So that means that there's going to be a lot of double duty going on. Cody's going to have to wrestle twice. Seth going to have to wrestle twice. In fact, this also means that Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins is probably moved to night 2. Instead of night 1. The Rock wrestles once. Hey. But let's start with Seth. Because you've wondered if he was going to make it to WrestleMania. Now it's clear that he's going to make it to WrestleMania. But how healthy is Seth Rollins to go double duty at Mania?
Listen, Bang, all of this is why I'm not wavering from what I've been saying since he came out there limping. I don't care. All now Seth Rollins trying to do now is get through this tag match. Damian Priest is leaving Philly as the world heavyweight champion. That is it. That's it. Sorry, Drew, but that is the story here because everybody's got a story. I could see the tag match going and maybe there's not a lot going on. And then I could see opening night 1 with Seth versus Drew. Judgment Day pop out. Hey, we kicking off night 2 with Damian Priest leaving Philly as the world heavyweight champion. It's still a great moment. It's still going to draw heat. It's doing everything to kind of just level out what's about to happen night 1. I know that this Cody Crybabies thing is like a thing and everybody's like, it's funny and all this. But hey, for real, y'all just gonna have to cry. Look, The Rock was supposed to be at WrestleMania 40 and he's never gonna be opening for anybody that ain't Stone Cold. Like that's y'all need to get that through your head. Break your TVs now. Break your keyboards and crack your screens and all of that. Now, get your sexual puppets out, all of that, because you're going to be upset. All right? The Rock is going to get his way. No way The Rock is coming to WrestleMania 40 with the anticipation of it being the biggest WrestleMania ever. And y'all think he going to lose to the 2 dudes that y'all like? Hell no. Like that's what ain't happening. I don't care what else happens? Yeah, The Rock is not losing to Cody and Seth in the same night. That's not going down. That is cancel Christmas, Easter, and Yom Kippur. It ain't happening. Then you got Seth dropping the title to Damian Priest, screwing Drew McIntyre in the process because that's his thing. And then you got Roman, who's gonna beat Cody clean because he got his ass tore off the night before. All this is running shit. Look, all this is letting y'all know, okay, y'all don't want the bloodline to run WrestleMania? Well, now the bloodline's gonna run WrestleMania. We just gonna beat up all y'all fucking favorites tonight. Like, we gonna spend the weekend beating up every white male that you love, and we going home. That's what I see happening. I know this ain't the prediction show, so I'm gonna revamp this and tell y'all again. But don't bet any money that you don't have on Cody finishing that story or Seth walking out the champ after what you see what's gonna happen on night one, especially.
Well, I still stick with my WrestleMania Raw prediction that Damian Priest is going to win it there rather than win it at WrestleMania night one or night two. I'm sticking with my day after WrestleMania prediction that's when Damian Priest is going to cash in on that, because then it's the long-term storytelling aspect of, hey, man, y'all kind of tried to replace me with this nigga, and
yeah, well,
I know it. I tried to replace this nigga low-key with me in Judgment Day.
Yeah. So. Hey, listen, yeah. Hey, see, yeah. Can't forget that. Hey, Seth out there stepping gingerly, man. Yeah. I hate to see it, but hey, look, medically cleared and 100% ain't the same thing, y'all. Yeah. I get the, like, technically they'll let him out there if he had 75.
Yeah. Yeah. But also I believe that this leads Seth to taking a little bit of a break, a little bit of hiatus, man. You know, he got a daughter that I know he want to spend a little bit more time. You got a wrestling camp that he want to chill at. You know, I will throw out these right now. It ain't going to change. I don't think Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch leave WrestleMania with a belt. But I do think they leave with time off, though.
Facts.
Together. So, go be a family. Sure. With that being said, though, just thinking about that, let's say for instance, Drew McIntyre is the champ and he keeps it. Like, what are the prospects for for Drew McIntyre, like with becoming the world champion? Could this be a reign that we was looking to have when he defeated Brock Lesnar and the Big Show? Like,
that's wild. That's what happened, but that's literally what happened. No, he got a smooth 48 hours at max. If he win, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, because I think that what's happening here is with Drew's character right now, right? Obviously, he can still dominate, but he winning by circumstance. Like, he been getting bailed out of a lot of situations, even winning the Elimination Chamber. Like, he kind of got to thank Logan Paul for that. So I look at all that to say that, he was like, I've been getting screwed, so now I'm doing the screwing. And then I look at that and say, but Damian Priest ain't gonna let you win. Like, he's already made it clear, like, I'll throw all this Judgment Day shit to the side, bro. I'm on your head, nigga. Like, you got to deal with me. And I think that's the poetic justice of it all. You so worried about taking the belt off Seth, and you so worried about what the bloodline did to you. Now I'm gonna knock your head in and take everything from you. So now you ain't got no choice but to leave all that other stuff alone. And now you got to deal with me because I just took what you wanted, what you felt They were in your way of getting. Now I got it.
Mm.
That's the storyline I think that's building, because I don't think Judgment Day is going to make it to Money in the Bank, because I think that's the pay-per-view, or because no, they do the WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, that mess. They're not. I don't think they're going to make it to Money in the Bank for sure, but I don't think they're going to make it to WrestleMania Backlash. Another low key guarantee for y'all. I got a couple.
I mean, Rhea Ripley definitely is looking like she needs to get out the spotlight. Well, get out of the light of the Judgment Day and get in the spotlight of her own. So,
hey, listen, that Australia Elimination Chamber, that let me know that we only care about Rhea for real now, huh?
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Couple of little tidbits before we get out of here. As expected, everybody then turned on Becky. I mean, not Becky, excuse me, Bailey. Everybody has turned on Bailey. So it's Dakota and the Asians versus Bailey right now, which leans towards your guarantee for a while that it was going to be Bailey versus everybody. So my question, do we get Hugger Bailey back in some type of way? Like, because Bailey looked like she needs a friend right now.
Yeah. No.
She needs some love.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I do think that Bailey just shows what it really means to be the number one face for women in the company. And I know that's a huge mountain to climb with what we've seen Bianca Belair do. But I don't think people remember, especially some of you younger wrestling fans, I don't know how big y'all remember Bailey being at NXT when she hadn't won nothing yet.
Right.
Like that was pretty wild.
It's going back. It feels like it's going back to Bailey, back against the wall. Crowd loves to support her, similar to when she was Hugger.
Yes. So, and I do believe that she remixes that character, but it won't have, again, the used car salesman inflatable.
No, yeah, she definitely ain't gonna have.
No, yeah. No more side pony. But I think this is just a season of look, everybody loves Bailey. Even the one crowd be singing the song, and it's like, oh, wow, she's supposed to be a heel. She's not going over tonight. But this crowd don't care. and she has way too many of those moments that now you just have to turn her face, because the other flip side is some of these other women are actually better at being heels. so that is, and hey, if what you're saying is correct, and I believe in it, if Becky Lynch is about to leave WrestleMania with a nice fresh L from Rhea, and she ain't gonna be around, they need somebody to keep that lane white hot. And the best person to do that is Bailey.
Yeah, with the Bailey thing, I think we're gonna get some. It's not gonna be full, like you said. It's not gonna have the car salesman joints and stuff, but I think we're gonna get some form of that, because the crowd needs to get that old Bailey feeling back, like her back against the wall, and she really needs us, and stuff back. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. Plus, I wonder what they're gonna do with the tag team championships. I do believe that we're gonna see the black ladies, the sisters, sisters with voices. You know what I'm saying? Versus the I almost slipped and said it. I ain't even gonna say it. Almost slipped and said it.
Hey,
But
but
we gonna
the
get
match is
this.
the match, y'all.
But we gonna get the sisters versus Damage Control for the tag team championship. I think Jade Cargill showing up on SmackDown and walking into, Damage Control kind of clinched that for me, that we're going to see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Asuka and Kairi Sane for the women's tag team championships. Rumor has it that we're going to get a decision soon that will separate the tag team championships. So we'll have Raw and SmackDown tag team champions again. So with Judgment Day squarely being on Raw and dominating there and being the tag team champions, who would you like to see become the tag team champions for the SmackDown brand?
For SmackDown brand, I mean, you know what? That's difficult because to me, I felt like all signs were pointing to the Creed brothers. I just felt like all signs were pointing to them as far as being one of the champs. So with it being SmackDown,
I mean that any of that team could probably slide on over to SmackDown when they win it. So
that's true. That's true. But well, look, I'll tell you this because hey, look, we've watched trades get made by personnel and not the front office. The tag team titles rest in the hands of two teams, as far as I'm concerned. Pretty Deadly and the Creed brothers. Heel team, face team. I think the team that probably the most exciting and the most entertaining. Pete Dunne and then Tyler Bate are gonna get a shot.
what's his name?
Pete Dunne.
How you just see racist?
No, no.
His name's Pete Dunne.
No, Pete Dunne. I heard Pretty Deadly say it.
Don't do them. See, don't do them like that.
Racist. Hey, look, Pete Dunne and Tyler, they gonna get a shot, but I think the titles themselves will rest in the hands of those teams. Like those are the teams that are in the hunt to me.
Yes, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Last one I have for you is, man, Gunther. No Brock Lesnar. Means we gotta figure this shit out. Now, word has it that Jey Uso was actually supposed to win the championship, but they made the change. So my guarantee would have been right if they didn't make the change. But the change was done to help foster Jimmy versus Jay, possibly at WrestleMania. So, if you had your pick, who does Gunther square up against for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania with?
Man, oh man.
So just to even it out for you, it looks like LA Knight and AJ Styles are headed to a grudge match.
Yep.
I love that option right there.
Same.
It looks like Logan Paul and Randy Orton is on the collision course for the United States Championship, which means that we're going to see one of the most epic RKOs we've seen.
That's a fact.
Thus far. So we have that. We have Real Drug Dealer vibes back with Santos Escobar. You know what I'm saying? Real Drug Dealer vibes back, but it looks like he's on the collision course with Rey Mysterio Jr. Maybe it is Legado de Fantasma versus the LWO at WrestleMania. I have an idea on that, which I'm going to end. It's not a guarantee, it's a guarantee hope.
Okay.
But with all of that being said, now, who would you like to see out of those people that named?
Oh, I ain't gonna see none of them. My pick was Braun Breaker. Let's just get right to it. My pick was Braun Breaker because after the Royal Rumble, after his SmackDown debut, I mean, again, why are we playing around? At this point, Gunther could use the AI beat everybody on Raw. What's up? I'm just gonna show up over here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all ain't got no real champ, no way. So, so look, I'm the Intercontinental Champion. This show is in the U.S. Hey, look, hey, yo, I'm the best over here too. Who wants some? And then Braun Breaker comes on down. And they're like, oh, bet, hey, you know what? Hey, look, you know what? I respect your dad, but I'm going to whoop you like your dad never did in his life. Because I like when Gunther tell you how bad he's going to beat you, and there's nothing compared to what your family be doing to you. I love that. So yeah, my pick is Braun Breaker because, and the setup is real simple. And I think it's earned by both gentlemen. And I think that's the slapper, right? That's the smack because we don't have Sheamus. You know what I'm saying? He's still out. We don't want to see like Ridge Holland. I got Damian Priest winning the world title, so this is small potatoes to him right now. Drew McIntyre's unavailable. Everybody you said is already in the grudge match, and I think those are great matches to just like add to the WrestleMania weekend because it's supposed to be the biggest ever. So yeah, the only person that I think deserves or has earned to be on the card that is Braun Breaker. So let's set that up.
Okay. I thought about it, and the only thought that I could come to, and don't laugh at me, Kent,
All right. Now you set it up like that.
Omos.
hey, look, man. I'm just glad it ain't February. You talking like that? that's all I say. Hey, listen, man. For a German to beat up a big African in Philly, man. I don't think wrestling, Hotep Wrestling Twitter can take that.
If they was gonna give us big meaty men bumping meat,
Yikes.
shouts out to Big E, and Big E can't beat at a wrestle,
Yeah.
it's got to be Omos. They got to give Gunther some pause on everything I'm about to say, but they got to give him another big guy, and ain't nobody bigger than 7'4", 400 pounds.
That's
I
true.
don't want to see him against no small nigga. I don't want to see him against no damn Ricochet
Yeah, no.
and shit like that. I don't want to see him against Chad Gable. I don't. Matter of fact, I don't want Sami Zayn to wrestle Gunther because I think Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre should be the next. When Drew McIntyre wins, his first feud should be against. If it's not a cash-in situation, his first feud should be against Sami Zayn.
Okay.
And remember, I made the prediction last year that Sami Zayn will be a world champion this year.
That's true. That's true.
And I could definitely see Sami Zayn being the world champion on Raw. So I foresee that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if Gunther's only going to be in the spotlight match, so to speak, spotlight that man against Omos, have him chop Omos to death, chop that tree down. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what happens there. All right. Guaranteed cheese.
Hey man, I gave out so many, man. That's really how I'm rocking, man. That's really what I think. Again, just because we're on the road to WrestleMania, I think the bloodline just runs WrestleMania. But if I could do maybe something a little impromptu, I do believe that Cody losing at WrestleMania will make him turn heel.
Homelander.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I think Cody goes 0 for 2 at WrestleMania after going 2-0 at the Royal Rumble, and it don't mean a thing. Because hey, and that would be typical McMahon versus Rhodes, though, right? It kind of still fits. It fits every story. But yeah, I said a lot. I'm trying to piece them all together in my mind. But hey, look, everything I said today, guaranteed.
There you go.
Not bad. I don't remember.
So I've said mine too, but I got a guaranteed hope.
Okay.
I wanted this to be the match that Rey Mysterio was involved in last year,
Mm.
and I'm gonna say it again here. Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio Jr. Mask versus hair. We need it.
Mm.
We need it. If we're gonna have Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar involved in any match for WrestleMania,
Mm.
for the love of lucha libre, the love of the sport, the love of what they put together in matches, in most cases, there's no match greater than Mask versus hair.
Yeah.
And if Santos Escobar's whole thing is about bringing lucha libre up, bring it up by having this Mask versus hair match.
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio leaves. If he retires, if he loses the match as well. So it's Mask and career versus hair on the line.
Mm.
That's what I would love to see at WrestleMania for Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar.
Mm.
Mask and career versus hair match. Make it
Wow.
happen, Triple H. Paul Levesque.
Right. Right. Just they throw your whole name
Mm-hmm.
and stage name out there now. I like it. I
So
like it.
man, hey man, look, we apologize, but shit, we grown men. But
Facts.
what we gonna do? We gonna give y'all the content that y'all love. At the same time that AEW is going on again, shouts out to the Stinger. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the little stingers out there.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to NWA Sting,
Yeah, man.
Surfer Sting, New Japan Sting,
Mm-hmm.
Crow Sting, Wolfpack Sting, Sting after the Wolfpack Sting,
Yeah, I was going to
TNA Sting, WWE Sting,
see even that one.
AW Sting. Shouts out to you and your amazing career. You
Yes.
deserve all of the the whatever they call it, the the love and affection that you did get from all of the fans and fellow wrestlers. You deserve all of that love and affection. And I'm still as excited to see you in this way as I was when I was a shorty and being like, yo, who the white dude with the blonde hair? You know what I'm saying? With the crazy theme music and stuff. So, congratulations to you. A job well done, Sting. Floor is yours,
Absolutely.
Camp.
Absolutely, man. Thank you again, Sting. Thank you all, everybody that tuned in to the live and everybody's going to tune into the show. Man, we thank y'all for being patient with us as we be adults and we still get it done for y'all here on this platform called the First Black Champ Podcast. Obviously, Bang and I can do this ourselves and participate just in our own little world. But each and every one of you that make an effort to be a part of the community with your likes, comments, shares, and comments, that's right. I hug Bailey too. If Bailey wanted to be a hugger, she could just come to the First Black Champ Podcast and get hugged on any angle. We're available, right? But thank you guys for tuning in. And hey, man, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ Podcast. Pick VP, DOC, and we are out. Still waiting to hear from Teddy Long.